Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video, I mean, you know what this is. This is a brand new versus video. It's been a little bit since I've done the last one. This is only like episode 3 of it. Just kind of a fun little small animal comparison, perhaps a little bit of fighting series. It's nothing really significant, but people have been asking me to come back to it, and so obviously people like it, and I'd be more than happy to continue. And yeah, I mean, you know what this one is. This is the chimpanzee versus bonobo, one of the most controversial animal duos in the game. And you know, I have a lot to say as well, and so yeah, we're gonna take a look at the two and compare them. Hopefully, see them fight. Maybe the format is really I'm gonna bring in each one at a time to take a good look at them. I mean, not like we don't know what they look like if you've played the game, but really just kind of talk about them. Maybe talk about where each one's from, what are the differences that's not in the game, and then actually bring them together and you know, get a good look at in terms of difference, and also maybe see them fight. Honestly, Planet Zoo is not really a game where fighting comes into mind right away, not at all actually, so I highly doubt it. I know that some animals fight because you just gotta have that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make any interactions, which is, you know, it's fine, I get it, but still we want to take a good look at the size comparison, the fur comparison, believe it or not, and just in general everything. And I'll give my thoughts and opinions on them. I know which one people usually tend to like more, but I think mine will be a bit surprising. And yeah, we can just do new verses. That's basically what we're doing here. So, all right, let's go ahead and actually just bring in the bonobo. All right, and here's the bonobo. Okay, so I know this is the one of the two that people do not like as much, and I completely understand why. It was it's first off not an animal that many people even know. Oh, look at that, just completely destroyed the box. It's not an animal that most people even know about, and I understand. I get it. It's, you know, we got the beloved chimpanzee in the completely out of the nowhere, almost looking like a copy and paste. I guess technically it is copy and paste chimpanzee remodel thing. I completely understand why people would be more against the bonobo. Originally, I mean, come on, chimpanzees are for sure more zoo adequate, I would say. They come into mind first. Still though, I am a fan of bonobos. I think they look really cool. Yeah, there is difference. There is some difference between the two. Judging on, I mean, I have yet to actually bring the two together in the game, so I'm curious. This will be new to me as well as all of you, but I'm very interested in seeing what are the major differences they've given in the game. In terms of real life, I know, of course, the bonobo is smaller. It's got less hair, it's got a bit more like bald patches here and there. And actually, I should have brought in the female bonobo because, interestingly, their model is even more realistic. Like, they have even less hair in certain spots. They did their research, I can say that. Frontier did a good job, at least recreating the bonobo. Like, if the chimpanzee wasn't in the game, the bonobo would be pretty gosh darn unique, I would say. But I cannot deny that this is quite easily a filler animal. I know people have told me in the past they don't like me using that word, but it is true. This is a filler animal. It was, you know, they could have done something like a giant otter, for example, but they wanted to save money, and so they make the bonobo because they already made a chimpanzee, and it's easy to copy and paste the animation and change the model somewhat. Yeah, I get it. I get why they do this, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. I really like the bonobo, and actually, I gotta be honest, I do prefer it. Only because I only did recently just learn about the bonobo, like, oh god, like well, I say recently, it was more like a couple months ago. I learned about the bonobo and became more aware of its difference, and you know, it was cool. I was like, alright, you know, I don't expect it to make it into the game, and then boom, we got it in the game, and both the chimpanzee. Yeah, I think I prefer the bonobo simply because it's more forgotten, and I'm kind of a sucker for more forgotten animals. I prefer second choice, I guess. That, and can you imagine, this would make sense, can you imagine if Frontier didn't do the chimpanzee and just went with the bonobo? It honestly would not be surprising, judging off of Frontier's choices in the past with their animals, and even in Jurassic World Evolution. They make interesting species choices sometimes, and it would not surprise me if they just wanted to go with the bonobo instead of the chimpanzee, just to kind of like surprise everyone, but no, we got them both, you know, whatever. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is I actually appreciate the bonobo. I do prefer it over the chimp, and just kind of, you know, I was theorizing a little bit on what would have happened if we just got this guy. But anyway, in terms of the model, it looks really good. I like actually how it's got a little bit of blue along its face line. It's very interesting looking. Oh yeah, there's one last humongous difference between, when I say humongous, more of a really funny difference between the bonobos and the chimpanzees. But so chimpanzee, they both fight, right? But they each fight in a different way. Chimpanzees fight with violence, and I mean like major violence. There's recorded cannibalism in chimpanzees, and I've actually seen the documentary myself. It's a pretty famous one where the chimps, like it's two chimp clans, and they're fighting, and at the end they end up killing one clan, ends up killing one of the members of the other clan, and they eat the member. Like you see chimpanzee eating chimpanzee, and it's just a lot to watch. But the bonobos, they don't fight with violence. No, they fight with sex. They really do. They actually fight with sex. I probably should do some more research, but then again, I still wouldn't be able to tell you guys. Just if you're really curious, look it up on your own. You can see that it is true. These guys will always be having fun. So yeah. Oh, I can see it's getting really dark. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and now bring in the chimpanzee. And now we got the chimp. So, okay, even though I prefer the bonobo, I still really love the chimpanzee. They're just, I mean, they're so iconic. I was about to say ironic. Sorry, they're really iconic. Plus, I am a humongous fan of the Planet of the Apes franchise, and Caesar's like one of my favorite chimps of all time. I guess you could say fictional chimps. I guess he's one of the only, but. Anyway, chimpanzees, they're awesome. They're also really terrifying for some reason. I would not want to be in the room with a chimpanzee. I mean, bonobos got a funny look. They feel like goofy, funny creatures, and I like them for that. But chimpanzees, something about them just screams serious. I don't know why. I know people look at these animals and just say like, "Hey, mommy, look, it's a monkey." I can't tell you the number of times I've been at zoos and a kid will look at a gorilla or an orangutan or a chimpanzee or even a bonobo and be like, "Hey, mommy, look at the monkey." I freaking hate it so much. They're not monkeys. They're apes. I'm sorry. It gets so ridiculous. And one reason I really like zoos is because they can educate people about making stupid sayings like that. I mean, but this thing is just a beast. I mean, already it feels bigger than the bonobo, which obviously it is. Still, you know, both models are actually really good, and I've actually noticed a lot of differences. The chimpanzees are already substantially much more full in terms of hair and size. It just feels more like a solid, straightforward, pretty serious animal. And the bonobos, where things get a little goofy, you know. So there is difference, and honestly, at the end of the day, even though while some people are still against it, I find myself appreciating the fact that we have them both. I actually really like having both animals in the game. Oh god, I love the animation. God, that is just an amazing shot right there. Okay, so I don't have a whole lot more to say about the chimpanzee. I know in terms of like where they're located, I forgot. You know what? I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I promised beforehand at the beginning of the video I would do some research, and I kind of forgot to do it, but I just quickly did some. And so, in terms of location, like where they are, they're both found in the Congo, so it's not surprising. But where they are, like there is difference, and they're not both just found in the Congos. Chimpanzees are found more down the East Congo, near the Niger River, and bonobos are found more near the south. That's what I found. That's the only research I found. Sorry, but at least there is a location difference. They don't actually. I don't think they do overlap. I can only imagine what would happen if they overlapped. I'd probably just mistake each other for the same species. Wouldn't that be something? But yeah, there is definitely difference location-wise, model-wise. I say that in both the game and in real life. And yeah, but now I think it's time we took all that as a guess. But now I think it's time we really bring them together and see the substantial differences within the game. Okay, guys, so I finally got the bonobo and chimp together. Okay, first things first, they are both males, because I know gender-wise in the game, and this pretty much goes for all animals, but the gender sizes can be quite different. But these are both male, and they're actually they both have a smaller size, like looking at their genetics and whatnot, they're both smaller males. So size-wise, it fits. Wow, they're actually, I mean, jeez, look at the size difference. Oh my god. Huh, for anyone who was worried about them being too similar, please don't. I mean, gee, my god. Look at that crisp bonobo vein. Why are these guys always so veiny? It freaks me out. No, but seriously, size difference, I'm actually really impressed. Also, can't deny colors as well. The bonobo's got a bit more of a blue tone to its skin, and the chimp is far more skin color. You know, I would say chimp is probably closer related to us. Actually, that's like the 5th group of apes, right? We got bonobos, gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees, and lastly, humans. Or at least live today. But yeah, size difference, very impressed with. Model-wise, other than the colors, because we already talked about that, I can't spot too many major differences. They both got the line creases along the back. Well, the chimp one is a bit more obvious. I'm really looking at this in deep detail when I shouldn't. But yeah, the chimp line along the back. Let me unpause it, get them a little bit closer. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. You guys just get real close. Oh yeah. it looks so weird. Yeah, so size is definitely the thing to take away from this. As I said, color before, Bonobo's got a little extra splash of blue, and the body structure does appear to be somewhat different. The chimp's got a bit more of a human-like body. Also, the ears are a little different shape. I imagine this is going to go for all of like the chimps in the game. They'd all have the same kind of ear, where it's kind of got like a bit more of a pointy ear. Why am I looking at this deep in detail? But you know what? No, that's the whole point of the video. I'm trying to get a. You know, hang on. I got to go into Anvil for this one. Oh yeah, that's it. Hold on. I'm terrible at moving Anvil. This is interesting. I want to get a better view here. That's awesome. Yeah, they look interesting compared next to each other. It's almost like the bonobo. I actually also found online the bonobo sometimes referred to as the pygmy chimp, which makes sense. You know, it is the pygmy hippo, and the chimpanzee would be the regular hippo, technically. Okay, obviously, you guys see the differences. What else can I say? I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. I'm gonna see if they fight. Hopefully they will. I doubt it, but maybe, right? So I'll get right back to you guys and see if they fight. Okay, guys. So I've been giving it a few minutes, and no surprisingly, they don't fight. You know what? Obviously, they do take the same animation rig. Kind of forgot to mention that, but you know, it was obvious. I'm not really surprised. It's just this game doesn't give off an aggressive feeling like that. Like in Jurassic World Evolution, when it first came out, like dinosaur fights were just the stuff to look at, and in this game, it just don't get that feeling. The animals are so complex and beautiful looking. Why would you want to look at them fight and instead just watch them doing their thing? One amazing thing about Planet Zoo, well, one of the many. But yeah, just no fighting. It makes sense. Also forgot to mention, obviously, the bonobo, which is somewhere around here. We gotta find our spazzy little guy. Where's the bonobo? Here he is. I forgot to mention, obviously, far less hair as well. Also, I don't think we're going to get the best comparison as well without bringing in the female bonobo. So I'm going to do this extra little bonus thing, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in the female. Okay guys, so I brought in the female bonobo. Consider this my way of making up for not showing or not having any fighting in this video. Not that everyone was asking for that, but yeah, no, it honestly would make sense to bring in a female chimpanzee, right? Well, honestly, I know the differences. The female chimpanzee is really no different. They have the exact same models, male and female, which is exactly how it is in the real world, so it makes sense. I mean, size-wise, the female would be smaller, but anyway, looking at the female bonobo, it actually is pretty different from the male, especially in terms of fur and a little bit of anatomy. If we're being honest, you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully, it's got a little extra bit of a. It's got a bit of an extra chest. Stomach looks fatter for some reason. I don't know why I just said. Just an observation, you know. But its hair just looks like some old '90s celebrity for some reason. Wow. Okay, okay, oh perfect. Here we go. 2 bonobos. Let's get them together. Yeah, there is definitely some substantial difference in the female and male bonobo. Really just mainly the hair. And I still think the anatomy is a little different. Like the male bonobo just looks skinnier for some reason. And the chimpanzee, we already know the difference. Okay, another thing I did forget to get a good comparison at was their statistics. Was that the right word? Hopefully it was. Anyway, terrain-wise, okay, they need a lot. The bonobos appear to require a lot of terrain. Is that the same? Yep, they require a lot of terrain, but not nearly as much climbable area. Well, I say nearly. Sorry, I've been looking at it wrong. It's they require a good amount of climbable area. Makes sense. These guys probably aren't the most, you know, both chimps and bonobos aren't really the most primate of primate. You know, like you'd expect more climbable area necessary for, say, the red ruffed lemur. Where is the chimp? I know he's somewhere in here. Here's our guy. So yeah, animal welfare. Let's take a look at him. What does he require? Okay, pretty much the exact same. Not really surprised. I'm okay, maybe a little bit. Like for example, in the previous versus area episode, sorry, we took a look at the Siberian tiger versus the Bengal tiger, and I believe the Siberian tiger actually wanted a bit more space, or maybe that was with the Himalayan brown bear and grizzly bear. But so animation, of course, is the exact same as I've stated, and appears the same. Welfare as well, I imagine, not only just for climbable and land area, but I'm sure also the exact same for terrain. In fact, I'm gonna hold that terrain position right there and look at the. Is it about the same? Yeah, I think it's about the exact same. Okay, so overall, animation is the exact same, no surprising right there. The models are actually surprisingly different. I'm really grateful for that. It would have been too easy for them to, sorry, it would have been easy for them to mistakenly have them be too similar, but I think there's enough difference there for players to go back and forth between the animals. I hope people will give the bonobo a bit more of a try, as I know it's not being used as much. But there are some substantial differences in terms of model and in general what they are. You know, like I said, bonobo likes to get a little frisky when fighting, and the chimpanzee will just straight up kill you. So there are differences. Still though, they are very similar. I can't deny that. And I also, again, still prefer the bonobo, and I completely respect people who prefer the chimpanzee. It's a bit more OG. But yeah. That's all I have to say. Guys, please let me know what you think about the comparison between these two. Is there any major differences I missed in terms of Planet Zoo and in the real world? What should I do next in my verses? I was originally going to do the elephants for this part, but the bonobos were a bit more. Sorry, bonobos and chimps were a bit more interesting. Also, I could do, say, even the hippos. I know it's not, we all know the differences, but it would still be kind of cool to compare them. When there's more animals in the game, for sure I'll do more comparisons, like rhinos and whatnot would be cool to compare eventually when there's another type of rhino. Basically any kind of animal comparison, you guys just let me know, and I will add it to my list add it to my Planet Zoo bucket list. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Bye bye.